So, you got your demon class, but you realize that its damage is, let's say, not that good. They decided that you better off go back to dual weapon class, but the problem is you cannot decide dual wielder or berserker, dual swords or dual axes. Hmm, let's find out. What up guys, it's your boy Snow and we are back again for another World Zero video, and for today's video, we are going to talk about the Dual Wielder and the Berserker classes. We are not going to answer which is better, but rather we are going to answer the question which is better for your playstyle. Before we get started, make sure that you've already frozen that thumbs up button and of course subscribe to our channel if you want more of this kind of video. We are almost at 70k subs and that's gonna be really amazing if you will be part of it. Dual weapon classes obviously has an edge when it comes to damage. In World Zero, Dual Wielder and Berserker gets the job if you really want to help the run in terms of damage. However, many players still cannot decide whether they should go for the swords or the axes. Let's start this showdown with the obvious difference. Dual Wielder is a speedy type of DPS which allows you to rip your enemy's HP quickly. On the other hand, Berserker is the full damage class but it comes with a price. It is slow. Berserker deals more burst damage compared to Dual Wielder, but the speed of the Dual Wielder allows you to get in and to get out of the battle quickly depending on the situation. The skills of the Berserker have very slow animation, which makes you vulnerable on the attacks, but in return, every skill that you are casting if you are a Berserker will guarantee you a lot of damage on your enemy. For the Dual Wielder, its critical damage makes it damage a bit near compare Berserker, but of course, dealing critical damage is always by chance, and it depends on the perks of your gears and a pet to build your perfect Dual Wielder. Due to the Berserker's immense burst damage, they can clear mobs pretty quickly given that the mobs are all aggroed to them. It is wiser to get them all first before casting your skill simply because its animation is slow and you do not want to cast one skill per mob. Berserkers are so good against those annoying golems and elite bosses even they are tanky because it is easy for you to burst their HP down. Your letter R skill also has a 360-degree range which allows you to take down multiple enemies at once. However, knowing the right timing to cast and use this skill is very important because while you were doing the spinning animation, you will be so vulnerable on enemies' attack. Your E skill also got maybe around 90 to 180-degree range, and your F skill has a longer range but still a bit of area damage. Your basic attack also deals good amount of damage, but mostly it is only about dealing the final blow to those mobs who didn't die after you casted your skill. The animation is really slow on your basic attack, which leaves you open on your enemy's attack. However, going back to your F skill, it has a chance to inflict a burn over time, which can add on your already massive DPS. Its ultimate skill serves as a buff and a guaranteed burn effect, which can easily burn down the HP of your enemy and even the bosses. However, the buff relies on your hits and your skill attacks, so casting your ultimate before your other skills will let you deal more damage. I also suggest for you to do some basic attacks while waiting for your skill cooldown because your ultimate also affects your basic attack and it does also deal some more burn damage. Dual Wielder on the other hand is more on a one-on-one type of gameplay because most of your skill doesn't have the same area of effect as the Berserker. However, the animation is fast enough for you to either continue damaging your enemy using your basic attack or just simply dodge or run away if it's really necessary. Your letter E skill is a speed and critical buff which can be fully utilized by using your basic attack. Using your basic attack as a dual wielder is fast, so unlike Berserker, you can use your basic attack anytime you want. Your letter R skill has a bit of range and it also does have auto-targeting mechanics for your convenience. It's the same as your letter F skill but just a bit longer range. Its ultimate attack is very simple. You will be on a 28 hit combo animation, and I really recommend for you guys to cast your E skill or the buff skill first before your ultimate skill to have a double chance of doing more critical damage on your ultimate. The more critical damage you deal on your ultimate, the more efficient you will use your ultimate. On this clip, you guys can see that the basic attack of Berserker almost double the amount of dual wielders. It is so easy to say that the balancing between these two classes was just focused more on their speed. But that's gonna be unfair for Berserkers if I will say that the speed was the only counterpart of its DPS, mainly because of the other good things that comes with the Berserker's skill. Again, Berserker has the 360 area damage of R skill, which is really good on killing group of mobs at once, the aggro of the letter E skill, which is useful to gather your enemies in one place, and the burn damage of your letter F skill, which can adds up on your total DPS. They are all passive perks on your skills, meaning they're kind of like a free stuff when you are casting those skills, unlike on the dual wielders, well, of course, aside for its letter E skill, which is only a buff, but yes, those other two skills of the dual wielders only deals damage. That's all. So now, which is which? Playstyle wise, being a Berserker mainly focuses as the main damage dealer, and dual wielders as the balance of fight or flight concept. One main disadvantage of being a Berserker is that since you are dealing high burst damage and your letter E skill gets the aggro of the mobs and even the bosses, you are more on the side of having a greater risk of dying each and every dungeon. Your damage is basically your best defense, and it follows the principle of the faster you kill your enemy, the less damage you will take. As simple as that. For the dual wielder, however, your speed allows you to protect yourselves by running away or just simply dodging. The downside of it is clearing multiple mobs at once, or probably clearing them fast, is something that you would not be able to do even if you are one of the main damage dealer, unlike Berserkers, especially if the group of mobs has some golems or some other tanky elite bosses. If you're wondering which pet should I recommend for these two classes, I really like using the purple dragon from the Tower Egg or the red lion from the World 4 Egg to help me out on my Berserker, because those two pets are just mainly for DPS. However, White Line Pet, which is also from the World 4 Egg, can give you Barrier aka Shield, which can be handy if your damage is still pretty low due to your gears. For the dual wielder, Purple Dragon is, in my opinion, the best because you just mainly need your pet skill for golems, which is really annoying, guys, to kill if you were a dual wielder. Trust me. But anyway, again guys, stop asking which is the best class on the comment section, because if there is such thing as the best class in an RPG game, then that means the class design in the game is trash, and everyone will just be using one class, obviously. I will say this again, that you should choose the class according to your playstyle, especially on World 0, because luckily enough, even this is a Roblox RPG game, the design of the classes is not really bad. I really love playing DPS, and you should have already known that by now if you have been watching my videos, and I can confidently assure you guys that Berserker and dual wielders has a kind of like different taste when it comes to being a DPS, but nonetheless enjoyable in different ways as well. Anyway, what about you guys? What class are you right now? Share it down in the comment section below, and do not forget to also share the reason why you love a certain class more than the other class. If you enjoy watching this video, don't forget to smash that like button, and of course subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys again on the next one. Stay cool! Peace out.